All right, good evening, everyone. This is the June 8th, 2022 meeting of the Urban Conservation Commission. This meeting is being conducted or operated as a hybrid meeting and using that hybrid format under Chapter 22 of the Acts of 2022. The public can join the meeting remotely by telephone by dialing 1-408-650-3123 and using access code 942-845-549. Or the public can join via computer at gotomeeting.com/join/942-845-549. So supporting materials for this evening's meeting have been provided to members of the commission and are also available on the town's website. The public is encouraged to follow along using the posted agenda. My name is Michael Garland. I'm chairman of the Conservation Commission, and permit me to introduce members of the commission as well as those other people that will be participating this evening. So when I call your name, please answer in the affirmative. Tom Fallon?
Present.
Michelle Colross?
Present.
Patrick Cunningham?
Present.
Megan Langley? I see that she's on the screen. Megan, can you confirm you're here? Okay, maybe she stepped away. And Catherine Nordberg. Catherine, if you're there, say you're here. All right, well, hopefully they will join us later. In any event, we do have a quorum this evening. And also joining us is our principal
They're
clerk,
having
Keith Heselton.
audio issues.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Okay. I'm very sorry, Mr.
That's all right.
Let's see here.
Just take on mute all. Can you click the big box at the bottom? That's it. How about up at the top, the big screen? Unmute all.
Doesn't seem to be working. Oh, that's
That's weird. It's unusual. We have this. You started it on this machine or that machine?
This machine started.
Okay. Can they unmute on their? Can they hear us?
If that's true, how are they going to indicate that?
Do they have cameras?
Catherine and Megan, if you can hear me, please turn on your video feed so we can see you.
No.
Catherine Norberg, there is no audio. Okay. Well, I think Catherine is attending though. So Catherine, you can't hear us? But you can't hear us if there's no audio.
All right. What the heck is going on now? Yeah, we don't have any control over the meeting at all. Oh, there it is. Okay, now it's recording. All right, let me check.
Okay, Megan can hear, which is great.
She can hear us?
Megan can hear us.
Oh, so it might be working.
Megan, can you unmute so can we hear your voice, please? Nope. Nope, never mind. I just heard the message about the conference being recorded. Okay. Technology is great until it doesn't work.
There, yeah. Well, let's see. Screen. Cameras on.
I really don't like technology. That's why I show up here. It's just easier.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should I dial in that way
In
just
fact,
to keep
at
the
this
meeting
point,
going?
I only have one
Should
more
I
day
dial in
until
on
my
the phone
car
just to get the meeting
gets
going?
fixed.
If you try.
So excited.
That's what feedback through the system
Yeah.
though, but
What's wrong with
let's see what
Yeah,
happens.
my
Okay,
phone is
we get it
broken.
going.
So I got the iMac, the iPhone 13 Max. Yeah. Comes with a new car, a new cord.
Okay.
except
Sure.
cord doesn't actually plug in anywhere. You have to
Oh.
get a different charger. Like the end piece that goes in,
Yep.
that's a separate buy thing.
Yep. Water ratchet. Yep.
Please enter your access. To enable audio control, this conference will now be recorded.
Can you hear us?
Megan, can you hear us?
Yes,
All right, outstanding. Catherine, can you hear us?
yes I can.
Oh, fantastic.
Sweet.
It's a Christmas miracle in June. All right, in any event, I think everyone has been introduced. So just for the record, Catherine, you're joining us? Catherine?
Sorry, yes, I'm here.
Okay, Megan, you're here too?
Yep.
Outstanding. Well, thank you for joining us, and apologize for the technical glitch. The first item on tonight's agenda is the 7 p.m. public hearing. Town of Auburn, a notice of intent to control invasive and nuisance non-native aquatic vegetation with the use of US EPA / Mass State Registered herbicides, algicides, and other BMTs in the areas of Packagug Golf Course, Irrigation Pond, Eddy Pond, and Pondville Pond in Auburn. Is there a motion open?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Hi.
All right, so vote. Is anyone here on behalf of the town of Auburn for this filing? This was on our agenda at our last meeting in May. The representative was going to provide us with material data safety sheets for the herbicides and algicides that were going to be used or which were being proposed for use. I don't know if we received those. I didn't get any from you, did you?
No, I did not receive any.
Okay, so, and we can't do anything with this matter anyway because we don't have a DEP file number yet. Contrary to popular belief, they still have numbers, but apparently they have not had the opportunity to assign this matter a number yet. So, I think we'll move on. Is there a motion to continue this filing to our next meeting on June 22nd?
Make a motion, we continue this hearing till our next meeting,
Okay.
June 22nd,
All right. Would that be at 7 o'clock, Keith?
Would be.
All right.
7 p.m.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Hi.
All right, it's a vote. The next item on our agenda is the 7:05 public hearing, 9 St. Mark LLC, a notice of intent to construct a proposed 11,200 square foot commercial addition with associated parking and utilities at 9 St. Mark Street. Is there a motion open?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, it's a vote. Is there someone here on behalf of 9 St. Mark LLC?
Yes.
Good evening, sir. Your name?
My name for the record, Jim Bernardino with CMG Engineering. I'm here tonight representing 9 St. Mark Street LLC
Perfect.
on the notice of intent for you. Before I dive into the nitty-gritty details of the proposal, kind of give you a quick locus so everybody gets familiar with the site location and existing conditions. This is just a Google Earth snapshot of the location. This is St. Mark Street, Route 20, Elm Street. So obviously we're on the south side of Route 20, and we're just southwest of Pondville Pond. Zoom in, north is up. I'm going to go to the next slide, which is zoomed in, which is turned 90 degrees, just to let everybody know. So as we go through, this is the existing condition plan. Obviously, Route 20 to the north, Pondville Pond off to the side here, and St. Mark Street is on the bottom. Currently, we have my glasses aren't as good as they used to be, just under a 24,000 square foot existing industrial building. The current use of the site is for, I believe it's called corrosion materials. They basically are very light fabrication for some materials that actually go down to Groton, down to the naval base that's down there. They really take some steel, they cut it up into certain sections to spec, send it out. So the existing condition is, as I mentioned, we have that 24,000 square, 24,000 square foot plus or minus. We have some paved areas associated with the parking and maneuvering. There's actually the ability for the loading to come in, drive through the building and out, so that's kind of the process, circulation for the site. We had Scott Goddard Consultants evaluate the site for resource areas. Obviously, we do have Pond in this location. There is BVW associated with that. In the orange is the 100-foot buffer zone. There is a zone AE associated with the pond, but falls in just at the limits of the bordering vegetated wetland. When I go to the next slide, you'll see that our development is all on the other side of the development, so the flood zone is not really in consideration here as far as potential impacts of the development. Further down to the south of the site, there is another BVW wetland. It's quite large when you look at it on this map over here. It comes down over here. It gets a significant drainage from the residential neighborhoods to the southeast and the commercial developments that surround the area. Now, our proposal is to add an addition in this location here, modify the paving and driving surfaces or impervious surfaces on the site. This is the proposed site plan. Just on the south side, we're proposing 11,200 square foot commercial. Same use, so there's going to be no change in use. We're maintaining the same site kind of circulation that comes in and through the building. We provided a loading dock for the property. It just enhances and facilitates deliveries in and out of the project as well. So we increased some impervious area in this location here. As you can see, some of the limits of work are very minor within the buffer zone. One item that I wanted to point out too is looking at the existing condition. Running along the property line is an existing sewer easement in the purple here. So even though it may look from wooded from an aerial, it's really more scrub brush and the like, but within that scrub vegetation area, there's actually a town sewer easement and sewer line that's going through the property. And as you can notice, here's the limit of the existing pavement, and we are proposing to encroach in that a little bit further, but not a significant amount. Now, the proposed development obviously does have impacts to the overall site. We are adding impervious on the site, about a little over 22,000 square feet. That's about a half an acre. So that's a relatively significant impact. So we did look at a proposed drainage program, a collection, conveyance, treatment, and infiltration system to address that. We've actually gone above and beyond many of the stormwater infiltration requirements because the site is located within the Groundwater Protection Overlay District, Zone 2. So we have also additional petitions into the town planning board as well as the zoning board. Planning board, we're going for a site plan approval. And the zoning board, we're looking for obviously a special permit to increase the impervious on the site above the 15% that's allowed. As I mentioned, we've incorporated a stormwater system that's going to mitigate those impacts so that we are not negatively impacting the surrounding wetlands and or the aquifer. Going down here, this is just our grading plan that we have. Building, driveways, the same. This is our underground system that we're proposing. We have a quite extensive underground drainage system. First of all, we're going to be collecting all of the surface runoff on the southern side of the building. There's no improvements on the north side, so we're not touching anything that's existing there. Currently, there's no stormwater practices on the site. So what we're doing is we're going to introduce a series of catch basins on the site. They're going to be deep sump. We're going to route it through 2 water quality units, 1 water quality unit up here, and before everything escapes the site down to the towards St. Mark Street, we have a deep sump catch basin that will go into another water quality unit. Now, as I mentioned before, we were looking at infiltrating to make sure that we can mitigate that increase in impervious area above what's the limitations of the groundwater protection overlay district. We've, lack of a better term, oversized that. What we did was we took this opportunity to provide the collection and treatment and also increase the impervious air, to increase the infiltration throughout the site. So actually, we have a relatively significant decrease in stormwater volume going off the site. So we're not only decreasing the rate of flow, we're also decreasing the overall runoff of volume, recharging the groundwater into the aquifer. So even below or above, the pre-existing conditions. So, with that, we've developed an operation and maintenance plan for the long-term, functionality of that system as well. That was part of the notice of intent. You notice a little bit of a berm right here. What we've done is we've conducted test pits on the site. There's some unsuitable soils on the site. Basically, underlying base materials are all sand. Very great infiltration, but that is 8-9 feet deep. Unfortunately, when the sewer line got built in, what they did was they built the sewer in and brought in about 8 feet of organic material that is not good. So our proposal is within the areas that we're going to be infiltrating, we're going to remove that unsuitable soil down to native material, bring that back up with suitable material, and then introduce our infiltration practices. So we do anticipate some excess material because of that to be exported off the site. So to minimize some of those impacts, we thought it might be worthwhile to put a little landscape berm here, and we're proposing to vegetate that with a meadow mix vegetation that'll have some fescues, some wild grasses, wildflowers, things of that nature. Something with a little low maintenance. There is maintenance associated with that. We probably anticipate mowing, weed whacking a couple times a year, but it's designed to be a low maintenance, vegetated berm, that would promote wildlife with the fescues and the wildflowers that produce seeds and things of that nature. Now, as I mentioned, oversizing of the infiltration basin. We do collect, everything we collect from the proposed rooftop, all of this impervious area, we collect it all, and we infiltrate 100% of that flow up to the 25-year storm. Then we have a little bit that comes out, less than 1 CFS in the 100-year storm event. If we try to keep that 100%, it would just get big, uneconomical. So we do let a little bit of water out in the 100-year storm. So we do have an outlet that's directed to the EVW on the southern side of the site. Obviously, we have our drainage calculations that demonstrate reduction in the peak runoff volumes as well as. And lastly, to mitigate construction-related activities, we have developed obviously a soil and erosion control plan that has we have sill fence with the hay bale logs, slipping my mind right now, wattles, straw wattles, straw wattles around the low part of the site. Everything else kind of comes up. So we strategically place those as part of that. We're introducing a construction entrance, well actually construction exit. We don't care if we track dirt onto the site during construction, it's all coming off. So as part of that, we also have details and some narratives incorporated into the design plans to give contractors the appropriate guidance, to protect those resource areas during construction. With that, I think I'll just turn it back over to the commission to get the dialogue moving forward and to see what type of questions or concerns that you may have.
In terms of your timetable with the ZBA and the planning board, when are your next meetings?
Planning board, I believe, is next week. ZBA is at the end of the month, I believe the 26th to the 28th. Okay. So, and I'm aware that we do not have a DEP file number for this evening.
Well, I don't think we anticipate it closing tonight anyway, so what we normally do is to take a view. Would someone be available this weekend so that we could just take a closer look?
This weekend?
Yes, sir.
To walk the site?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could probably make myself available for that.
I'm thinking Saturday at 9 o'clock.
Saturday, 9 a.m. It is.
Okay.
I actually might be able to do that before I go to the graduation. I'm gonna have to bang through it and then go to the graduation.
Okay.
So I'll be cute, and then, I'll be wearing my cute shoes, then we'll go and do that.
Thanks for sharing.
You're welcome.
Okay.
I do have to add though, I think it's great that you guys put in where you're gonna add the snow, so we don't have to ask that question. Like, it looks like you guys thought it through, which I think
Yeah,
is pretty
we've worked in
fantastic.
town before, and I have many years ago, the other individuals, so we understand what's important to the town, and hopefully we crafted our plans to address.
You did, like,
Or
it looks
try
like it's.
a little forethought.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like the way, it's good to me.
So, well, we don't have a DEP file number, so you have no objection to continuing this to our next meeting?
No, I do not.
All right, so is there a motion to continue the notice of intent for 9 St. Mark Street to June 22nd?
So moved?
Is there a second?
Second?
Is there any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All right, it's a vote. 7:05, Keith?
Sounds good.
Okay. All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Bernardino, and we will see you on Saturday at 9 o'clock.
9 a.m. Yes.
Man.
You just a little back, I haven't worked a Saturday in 20 years. That's okay.
We won't keep you long.
That's all right. I am local, so it's not too bad.
The next item on our agenda is request for termination filed by Barbara Pitco to install a 15 by 30 oval above ground pool at 77 Berlin Street. Is there a motion open?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second?
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. It's a vote. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
How are you?
Thanks for the opportunity to stand in front of you guys, or sit in front of you guys in this case.
Certainly.
So I was able to push the pool back to that back side of the property, which measured in about 85 feet, but that's all the way I could go.
Right. So I went on Saturday, I went to Mr. Kapitko's property, and he indicated, I think primarily because of sunlight reasons, to move the
Correct.
pool over even farther away from the wetland area, because there is an intermittent stream there. So if anything, it minimizes any impact on the stream. When do you think you would start construction?
It would be June 28th,
Okay, all right,
if
very good.
possible.
And now, your lot is fairly level. Will you need to bring in any materials, or how you?
No, it'll be able to level off with some sand,
Okay,
with sand.
all right, very good. Other than that, again, the work that's being proposed or the revision, and I asked you, I think, to give us a revised drawing. Did you?
Yeah, well, this is, I mean, it's not as elaborate as what I just followed, but, I mean, that's the best I could get to. If I'll make copies, or I'll give it to
You
Keith.
can give it to Keith, that would be
And-
fine.
I do have it in a PDF, and I'll send it to him, but, yeah, and also I'll open the pool for the fire department if needed.
Okay,
So I'll discuss that with them, or I don't know what the process to have that
all right, very good.
arranged if needed.
Okay. All right. Okay. So I'm defaulting to you guys.
Push it to 85 feet. The original is at 35.
Yeah, it was 35, and then
Okay.
the spouse and the sunshine decided that it needed to go to that part of the property, so.
The spouse may have a
The
point.
spouse is my sunshine, so it's a 2-in-1.
Good answer.
Wow, that was pretty smooth. All right,
That was recorded.
Yes, can I borrow this?
you know what? These meetings are recorded, so you can play it back for her at some point in the future.
Too easy. Hi, Megan.
If there are no questions, is there a motion to close?
Make a motion, we close the public hearing.
No questions.
Oh, hello, Megan. What's your question?
Hi. Yeah, so, the pool will be pushed to 85 feet away, but like just for construction, purposes and everything, what would be like the closest, disturbance to the
85.
intermittent stream that would have to be done?
So, go ahead, why don't you answer the question?
Thank you for this question. It's gonna be, the closest point of anything to deal with the pool is gonna be at 85 feet. Everything will be to 85 feet and plus from the pool, or any kind of deck or anything is gonna be 85 feet past.
So wouldn't have to move heavy equipment or do any disturbance any closer than 85 feet?
No,
Okay.
There's a straight shot down your driveway, right?
correct.
So, I mean, we've had actually the same size pool on our property, and I think the biggest piece of equipment would be probably a mini cat, right?
Correct, yeah.
Yeah.
Just for that sand to be leveled.
Exactly.
Or a dump, I'm gonna get a dump truck, I don't know.
Uh,
I don't know how much sand you use, but I can ask him and get back to you guys.
Okay. Yeah, and generally speaking, I think construction will probably take, they can do it, I think, in a day, right?
Yeah, it's a day.
So I think it's one day, it's a small piece of equipment, and the equipment would not encroach on the wetlands.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay. If there are no other questions, is there a motion to close?
Make a motion to close the public hearing?
Is there a second?
A second?
Is there any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Bye.
It's a vote. All right, Mr. Capico, we will enter, I think we'll render a decision this evening, and you will hear from us shortly.
All right, I appreciate it, thank you.
All right, thank you, sir. Okay, so, as I think members of the commission will recall, I extended an invitation to each one of you to join me on Saturday for sidewalks.
And you're all by yourself?
And I was up on myself. It's okay, I did not take it personally.
Okay.
Well, I did take it a little personally, but nah, it's all right, I'll get over it. But in any event, I did actually make sidewalks because we received a number of requests for certificates of compliance. So I did go to 13 Hull Street Court actually this afternoon. If you look at the house, there is a wetland area to the right of the house. The house is well established. There was no encroachment in the wetland. The house appeared to have been constructed in accordance with the notice of intent that was filed. So again, if you would like to go out there, you can. Based on my observation, I think we can issue a certificate of compliance. So if any of you would like to make a motion,
I make a motion that we issue a certificate of compliance for 13 Holstrom Court.
is there a second?
I'll second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Bye.
All right, it's a vote. The next property was 219 West Street. Again, there was a wetland area toward the intersection of, I'm gonna get it wrong, of West Street, and it intersects with, help me here, please, anyone?
I only know how to get places.
Bueller? Okay, so in any event, where this was apparently an old filing. No, there was absolutely no encroachment in that wetland area. And so, again, based on my observation, it appears that the property was in compliance with the notice of intent that was filed. Is there a motion to issue a certificate of compliance?
So moved.
Or is there a second?
A second?
Is there any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right.
Bye.
All right, it's a vote. Next property was 155 Leicester Street. I also went there on Saturday. I rang the doorbell a couple of times. It appeared that there were people home. They didn't come to the door. And I can understand that. But I did make an observation of the property. I didn't see any wetlands. And so for the life of me, I didn't even understand why. I'm sure there was a good reason why the notice of intent wasn't filed for the property. The house, I think, has been established for some time. There were no obvious wetland areas within our jurisdiction. And I think so, based on that reason, is there a motion to issue a certificate of compliance?
Make a motion to issue a certificate of compliance to 155 Leicester Street.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, so, and then finally, the charging stations at the mall, not the ones closest to the pond, but those that are closest to Southbridge Street. We had an issue there, I think, a couple of years ago where the arborvitaes that had been put in had died. The arborvitaes that are there now seem to be flourishing. Again, the electrical charging stations that were installed there appear to have been installed in accordance with the plan. No encroachment on the wetland area in front of the EV stations. Is there a motion?
Make a motion, we issue a certificate of compliance for 385 Southbridge Street for the EV stations.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All right, it's a vote. And then finally, I did not go out to Brook Street to see Mr. Mohammed, but I think it's been probably 3 months, I think, 2 or 3 months since we went out there, so I think it probably would be timely for us to go back out there and see what progress he's made with his lawn in the backyard. I went out to 190 Washington Street and 2 Commerce Drive on Saturday. I did take pictures, which I will send to Keith. The area, it looks much better than the way it looked even a month ago or even a few weeks ago. The detention basins for the warehouse being constructed in Lot 3 are basically complete. The 25-foot no-build zone has been reestablished by the applicant. So the generators that we were concerned about being encroaching in the wetland area have been removed. So by and large, it appears that the applicant did take our concern seriously, has taken steps to address those issues. And again, the site just looks much better than it did even a few months ago, or a few weeks ago. So obviously we'll keep our eyes on it. That site is going to be under construction for some time, certainly through the summer and probably into the fall. And we will keep our eyes on it. There was one concern raised by Mr. Caraccio. Apparently, and you'll recall that on 190 Washington Street, near the first crossing, there was beaver activity. Apparently, the beaver colony moved further away from the construction work, but Mr. Caraccio informs me that they have constructed a 6-foot dam further down. And so it may cause some flooding issues later on. It is, I think it is a matter of concern. So I think he was actually looking for us to give him authority to breach the dam. I'm not convinced we're there yet, but it's something we should keep our eye on.
Isn't there only a certain season in which they can be removed?
I'm not sure, to be honest
I
with
think
you.
it
gonna
depends.
ask, do we even have?
It's site
We
specific.
don't.
Give it the Board of Health in the
Right.
town deals with allowing a breach of a dam.
We do not.
You could very well be right. So
We don't
maybe
have
we
any.
can relay, or he should relay his concerns to the Board of Health, and they can make a decision on what they want to do.
He does, and I think that he needed to do that like last month, because I think that there's only like a month or there's a small window of time in which they can be removed.
And typically they only do it if it's either a safety hazard or it's impacting your well. So
Yeah, if it's well, right.
But I mean, if there is erosion that is
Or
being
if it's
caused by it.
erosion, or if it's a problem.
They don't want a pond in their new building, that's for sure.
Is it technically on site? Because if it's not, if it's even on the property, it's just beyond the
So
restaurant.
I asked that question. I asked him if it was on their property or the National Grid property. He wasn't sure. It's possible it might be in the National Grid easement, so it might be an
It's
issue they need
close.
to address. It is close.
Right there.
So I just wanted to bring it to your attention because he brought it to my attention, and as you indicated, that ship may have already sailed. So, but again, you gotta give them those critters credit.
Yeah.
They're trying to protect their habitat. So, there you go. And aside from that,
Does,
yes,
I'm sorry, does Fish and Wildlife have to give permission for that sort of thing too?
I don't.
No, it's Board of Health, so the town, yeah.
It's only species.
Okay.
yeah, they're not. I mean, beavers are not endangered. So, and I think it really is a local issue. But again, we can confer with the Board of Health, and I would imagine they are aware of the situation, but we can always make them aware of it too.
Yeah.
So, is there any new business?
I just want to comment that the sound quality has been excellent. The last this meeting and the past one, like there were some audio issues we've had before. Whatever's going on, keep doing it. It's amazing.
Ah,
Well, I wish I could take credit for it, but I can't. So I will pass on your compliment to Chris, and to Richard too, because why not, and to Keith as well. So thank you, Megan. So anyway, I think for Saturday, for those of you who can join me, please, we will go to 9 St. Mark Street, and we can also go to Mr. Muhammad's property on Brook Street. It should be a pretty quick,
Close by too.
Pretty quick
it's gonna
sidewalks.
have to be quick.
Yeah, it's right next to it.
and you could bring a change of shoes, Michelle, just saying.
No, I'm gonna have to, because I can't wear heels like around
Oh,
the
you
site.
could, but it'll
Be
get
a little
dusty.
weird, yeah.
It would be.
Yeah.
All right, if there's no new business, is there a motion to
We
adjourn?
need to make a decision on,
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. Damn, you're right.
Good call, Tom.
Okay, is there a motion for Mr. Kapitko?
make a motion that we issue a negative determination of applicability, and just ask per his plan that he just keeps everything 85 feet away. And I believe on his plan, did he have erosion control measures on the plan?
I think he did,
No.
I
no.
don't think he did either,
No,
but he's
no, no,
he's
no.
on the other side,
Yeah.
yeah, so he's good.
Make erosion control, I would still say, he's saying it's outside of the 85, but if we could still put in there 85, make sure that there's straw wattles, 85, sorry.
Yeah.
Make sure that there's straw wattles,
Straw
In
bottles,
between.
best management
construction.
practices.
yes, and the
It's
water.
not gonna mean anything,
You know, it's so
So-
generic.
All right, so you have a motion, to issue a negative determination. Do you want to amend Tom's motion to indicate that he should put in straw wattles between the work area and the stream?
And the stream, yes.
Okay, all right. So there's Tom's motion with Michelle's amendment. Is there a second?
I was second.
Is there any discussion? There being none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Sorry.
All right, it's a vote. Okay. And if there is no new business, other new business, is there a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion, we adjourn the public hearing.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Bye.
All right, it's a vote. All right, everyone, thank you for participating this evening. I will see some of you hopefully on Saturday at 9 o'clock. And have a good evening and enjoy the rest of your week.
Right, go Celtics.
Go,